Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel for another video. So today we are here in build buy mode, building a house in Willow Creek. So in the, or in honour I suppose of Halloween, I am building a spooky haunted mansion. I wouldn't say it was like a massive house, but I would say it was a mansion. It looks quite it's quite grand, I would say. It's a bit different. It's not what I would usually go for on Halloween. I love, like in The Sims 3, I'd always build like really spooky mansions that had, you know, loads of rundown woods and all that kind of stuff, and make everything look kind of crappy and all that kind of stuff. But obviously in The Sims 4 you don't really have those customization options, so I kind of worked with what we had. I used a lot of the Spooky Day stuff, which obviously is not traditionally scary Halloween stuff, so it's obviously, like the title suggests, spooky more than anything. So I kind of tried to incorporate both styles, so I kind of went for like an abandoned sort of old mansion kind of theme. So as you can see, I'm using these shutters, like all the shutters have been closed and nobody's lived here for years and it all looks a bit run down. And I used all of the Spooky Day wallpapers and floorings to try and achieve that look, because the pack did come with one wallpaper that's sort of like panelling that looks really sort of old and run down, and a flooring that sort of matches, which is more haunted than the rest of the stuff that it comes with, because obviously, like I said, like the title suggests, it is spooky stuff, so it's fair enough. So it's a lot of fun kind of Halloween-y stuff, and not so much creepy. So as you can see, we're just getting the floor plan, sort of trying to laying it out here. I'm fiddling around with the stairs, trying to find a good place to put them, and I just put them in their own separate room, and that actually leads up to the master bedroom a bit later on, and I am just arranging the floor plan down here and the staircases and everything. I wanted to have sort of like a grand entrance kind of thing, which I think I achieved. It did look quite nice, I think, in the end. So this house is really dark. Obviously it's got no natural daylight coming in because all the shutters are closed on the windows, so I just used lights from the, you know, like wall lights, and it gives it this really cool sort of dark feel. I do use quite a few lights so that you can actually see what's going on, because I do hate it when it's so dark that you can't even see what's happening. But yeah, I really like the way it turned out. So here I'll be doing a bunch of different roof things. I'll try out a few different ideas, and in the end I just put a roof on top of this roof, if that makes sense, because I just didn't like the way it was sort of working. And I do really like the way this house turned out. I think it looks really grand and spooky, and yeah, I think it turned out nice. So it's actually got 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms, I think, and maybe 5 bedrooms, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 bathrooms, I think. So there's plenty of space in this house, put it that way. So if you want to move in a household here, or you want to turn it into like a community lot, like a spooky haunted house to visit with your Sims, you can do whatever you want. So here I decided to make this sort of front section a bit of a balcony, because I knew that I wanted to have a staircase with like an open atrium sort of area around it. And you know what The Sims 4 is like with their damn roofs. If you have an atrium and then you've got a roof, it sticks through because it causes it being outside and blah de blah de blah. So I put a sort of like a balcony here at the front so that it wouldn't do that. So a bit of thinking ahead there, which I don't usually do, and then I get inside and I get all disappointed because I can't do what I want to do. So yeah, I was quite happy that I managed to sort of twig that I wanted to do an open area. So yeah. Here you can see I'm putting in a few little dormers on the roof, but I do actually get rid of these ones on the left and just have the central ones there, and those centre dormers do actually let light into the upstairs master bedroom and master bathroom. Here I'm just going through and adding in some more shuttered windows, and I do put this one window. There's 2 windows in the house, these round ones at the front here, which you'll see momentarily. Here they are, and they're the only windows that let in natural light, and the rest are all shutters, because I really wanted to have that effect of like it's really spooky and abandoned, and all the shutters have been closed up when the last family moved out and no one's lived here for like hundreds of years, or like a good few years anyway. So yeah, I went for this grey siding, and this is the Spooky Day one that I was talking about. It gives it this really cool sort of rundown look, and this sort of roof tiles, they look kind of like they've been there for quite a few years. Not necessarily run down, but they're definitely not neat like modern roof tiles would be. And then I put on this sort of black wood foundation just to complete it, and I go around and add all these like black columns for the corners just for accents, because I thought it broke up the grey, it needed something. So yeah, I'm really happy with how the outside looked. I think I prefer the outside to the inside, to be honest. I think the outside looks really sort of haunted and creepy, and I think it looks really nice, whereas the inside does, but because obviously there's no creative style, you can't you can't make every room so detailed like you could in The Sims 3. So for example, like the kitchen, I think I did a pretty good job with the tools that we have to make it look as spooky as possible. But you've only got, you know, like the woods on the cabinets are just look like normal wood. They don't look sort of like moulded wood or all that kind of stuff that you could do with creative styles. So anyway, enough talking about creative styles. So we're moving inside here, and as you can see, I'm just looking through trying to find some sort of lights, and then I decided to go for these wall lights, and these I use in pretty much every room of the house. I just thought they gave off like just enough light. Anyway, I really like how it turned out. So this is the living room, or parlour, or whatever you want to call it, like the grand room, all that kind of stuff. And it has a piano in it and some sofas. So I do use like the sofas and stuff that came with Spooky Day, but I don't use the one with the little ghost faces on because I was trying to give it like abandoned sort of look. So I decided that the covers on the sofas would be like dust covers or something. You know, like if you I don't know, if like when people move out or leave houses, or like if you have two houses, like if you have like a summer house or something, some people put like dust covers over everything. So when you come in next time, you just take the dust covers off, and then you're good to go, sort of thing. Like if nothing's covered in dust, you just get rid of those. So I thought that the sofas that the EA created sort of looked a bit like that if you chose the ones without the little ghost faces on them. So yeah, that's what I go for anyway. So I used this really dark wood panelling along with the Spooky Day flooring, because I was going to use the Spooky Day wallpaper inside, but I decided that it was going to be too much and it would look too sort of, I don't know, I didn't want the outside to match the inside too much. So I used the Spooky Day flooring, which is this sort of like horrible wood, and I really like the way that looked. And then I'm using the Spooky Day curtains here because they're all sort of ripped and look like they've been there for hundreds of years and all sorts of things, and like bugs might have been all over them and crawled through them and all that kind of stuff, like termites on the floor, that kind of thing. That's the real overall feel that I was going for here. So here you can see I'm putting in those spooky sofas, or sofas that came with Spooky Day, sorry, and I used the side table, and here I'm just grabbing out everything that came with Spooky Day that I might want to use, so all the spiders and the cobwebs, and I do try and put cobwebs sort of like everywhere with the house, again to go with that theme, because I really do like those items. And I do one room with all Spooky Day stuff and make it like a really fun Halloween-y kind of room that's completely off of this house's theme, so it's really bright colours and all that kind of stuff, because I just thought it'd be really fun to put all those items to good use. So here I'm using the wonderful new ability to size up rugs, because I have been waiting for this day and I haven't made a house yet where I've actually sized up any rugs. So yeah, it's really fun. I don't think I actually sized any up in this room, but I mean, it was just fun to size them up and see what they look like. So we've been waiting for that for such a long time. So here I am putting in, I think I used one of these new paintings that came with Spooky Day that change as your Sims walk past them, a bit like the ones from Supernatural, even though I haven't been able to get my Sims to walk past a picture yet, so mine just stay the same. But it's the thought that counts, I guess, and they're a nice idea. So throwing in a few pumpkins around the house. I tried not to put too many orange ones in, like I used a green one here just to make it look, you know. Like I said, obviously, I really wanted to go for like the spooky vibe, but I also threw in little fun bits like this cauldron that gives little ghost lights and the pumpkins and stuff. So I put in this knight of armour in the hallway, so we're sort of flicking between the grand room and the hallway here, just decorating both at the same time, generally just because I'm finding things that I want to put in both rooms as I'm scrolling through the catalogues. So I find like a jar of bits here, I don't know what they are, it could be like intestines or something really horrible, I don't know what they are, but I put a little spider in that cobweb up there. Again, those little decorative spiders came with Spooky Day, and I really like those as well. I sort of, in the dining room, I did like a wall decoration, like with 4 of them, made it look like there were spiders crawling down the wall. I thought it was just a nice touch. And I'm using that Spooky Day living chair again, and I do use the Spooky Day end tables, not Spooky Day, just Spooky Stuff, sorry, Spooky Stuff end tables, but I decided not to use all of it in the same room, so I saved those for some bedrooms later on, just to sort of spread it out a bit. And here I am putting in the grand piano, and then I find these candelabras, and I think, yes, these are great for like spooky look, so I'm just sort of plopping those around. And then this is the... I just put some bookcases in there, but they don't stay where they are. They do get moved. Because I wasn't sure whether I was going to have a dining room as well as a breakfast room, or whether I wanted to do a study. But I decided to go for a grand dining room as well as a little breakfast nook side room thing. So yeah, so we're just switching backwards and forwards between all the different rooms here, adding different bits as I go. So I found like these flowers with the black vase, and then I found that other type of flower, the little watering can, that was like in a black colour too, so I thought that went really well. And then I'm adding in a coffee table here, trying to find some different kind of, because some of the items have like a colouring or like a swatch that sort of makes them look like they've had battered wood, but I didn't really like the way it looked in the end, so I went for this sort of fancier one. And I'm just putting in a bunch of different little decorative options, or items, sorry, like some candles and some pumpkins, and like I said, jars with stuff in them and all that kind of stuff, and different vases. And here I am just throwing a bunch of different stuff in here for the kitchen, or what will be the kitchen when we get there. I think I actually do move on to the kitchen now. So I put in a hanging light in the kitchen because I feel like you need more light in a kitchen than you do in any other room because you're chopping and all that kind of stuff. So it's a bit of a different floor plan because this was a square room, so it was a bit difficult to work with. So I decided to wrap the sort of kitchen around this half wall here and have like a walkway into the breakfast room from the hallway, and I think that looked quite nice in the end. And I do add some pillars later and all that kind of stuff, or some columns I should say. And yeah, I really like the way it turned out. So here I am just adding in those columns. Okay, changed my mind, but I will add them back in. There we are. And then I add some over the top cabinets and stuff. And I wasn't sure what to do with this wall, the one opposite, because it was just this blank wall. It was like the walkway and it was too empty, and I wasn't sure whether I liked it or not. I do come back later and actually add just like a big painting to the wall because it needed something. I do leave it empty for the moment. So again, like I said about finding it difficult to find different styles and stuff, obviously these cabinets don't look particularly like rotting away or anything like that, but I thought that sort of browny colour on top was the best colour to go with, and again with the tiles I was struggling, but this sort of off grey kind of colour worked really well, so I went with that. I do use that in the bathrooms as well. And again, throwing in some paintings. Oh no, I changed the painting. This was a really fun idea, I thought. I found all these fish unlocked that were mounted, so I went through and found like the creepiest ones. So there's got like a bat fish there, and one, and just loads of different ones. And I just thought it looked really cool to be mounted on the wall there. Like, you know, there might be some messed up people that used to live here, and they used to like finding really weird animals and mounting them and all that kind of stuff. So it was just like a fun concept to play with, you know, especially since it's going to be Halloween soon. I love building haunted mansions. I've always built them in The Sims 3, and I've always had a great time. You used to get like the mist emitters from late night, and you could put those all over your lot, and you could get all the tombstones and the different type of tombstones and all that kind of thing, and I just always found it really, really fun. So I definitely wanted to do it again in The Sims 4, and I'm really happy with how this one turned out. So I'm excited to build more and all that kind of stuff. I hope that we get a sort of supernatural theme pack or a magic themed one or something to go, like more items, because I just love this type of build that's sort of like grand and dark, and yeah, it's just really enjoyable to build for me personally. So anyway, we're moving on to the the breakfast room, and here I'm struggling with putting curtains in because of the archways next to the windows, but I do have to use move objects in the end just to plop those ones on the end in, and I used some different curtains here, some more grand ones, just to fill the room out, because the table was in the centre, but then that didn't really leave enough room to put anything else around it, so I used some bigger curtains to sort of fill the room out. Excuse me, just having some water there. So I'm just going through, and I added that spooky day table in. Again, it's got that sort of ripped sort of rag thing over it, like I said, I thought it would be like a dust sort of cover or something. I just liked the way it looked, and it kind of went with my abandoned theme for this house. So I threw in some candelabras and a vase of flowers on the table there. Here we are moving into the dining room. I just put those bookshelves in a bit earlier on. I liked the way they looked really tall and grand, and I thought a house like this would definitely have... I didn't put a TV anywhere, so I thought we need a bookshelf for fun, and like I said, this house is really old and stuff, so I didn't want it to have like too many modern amenities. I could not say that. So anyway, we're just finished with the dining room pretty much, and we just threw in some curtains and stuff. Oh, we will be throwing in some curtains in the dining room. I don't think we have yet. And in the hallway I was just adding some curtains in as well, because I wanted to have all the windows covered. Again, I go in with that abandoned theme. Maybe we should count how many times I've said abandoned in this video. Anyway, throwing in some curtains in the dining room, and then I've remembered that I hadn't put cobwebs all over the rooms, so doing that. Here's those spiders that I was talking about, sort of crawling down the wall. I thought that just gave it a really sort of spooky kind of theme. And this picture with the man playing the piano, it comes with a gold frame and it looks really nice, but I think it looks really creepy when you put it in a black frame. I don't know what it is about it. I think it's because it's like a silhouette painting. Obviously silhouettes are like black normally, so I think it looked really cool. Anyway, I put that in the dining room, and here we are doing the downstairs bathroom, which comes off of the grand room, mainly because I just couldn't fit the entrance anywhere else because of the planning. So, I mean, it's not ideal to have a bathroom off of your living room because everyone can hear what you're doing in there pretty much, but I thought it's a Sims, so who cares. So throwing in some stuff there, all the bathrooms that I always do, even no matter what floor they're on. I don't like making just toilet and sink, like just a half bath. I like making full bathrooms, because when I play the game, I always make sure that my Sims needs are like up all the time. I never really let them get too low. I don't know how you guys play, but that's how I play. So I like to have all the things that I need, like shower on all floors. So I always make sure that everything that I need is on every floor. So I always do like full bathrooms, or even if it's just like a shower and a toilet and a sink, I always make sure that that's on every floor. I'm not really a big fan of baths, so I don't use them too often, but I think there are baths in most of the bathrooms in this house. Anyway, so we just went upstairs and we did the hallway. The hallway's pretty simple, just has some rugs sort of lining the edges. It's quite a cramped hallway because it has quite a big sort of atrium area, and it's not like a massive room to begin with. So here we are doing what I decided was going to be the master bedroom at first, because I forgot that I built a whole room upstairs, a whole level to be the master bedroom. So we do put quite a lot of work into this, but I think it just turns out to be a really nice guest room. Or I mean, it could be a master bedroom. It's entirely up to you. Talking of, if you do want to download the house, you absolutely can. It is already up on the gallery. It is called Myrtle Estate, and I don't know if you guys get the reference, but Moaning Myrtle is a ghost from Harry Potter, and I just generally thought the word Myrtle sounded really creepy and haunted, you know, funny enough, since she is, you know, dead. So that's why I went with that, and I think it turned out quite a cool name, really. So if you guys do want to download it, you can either search for Myrtle Estate, or you can search for EndlxssSims, the hashtag in Sims 4 Gallery. I always put a link in the description, but like I said in my last video, I don't know if it works, because when I click on it, it doesn't take me to my page, even though I copy and paste the link straight from my page into the description. It doesn't seem to work all the time, so if you can't find it, then just use the hashtag EndlxssSims or Myrtle Estate, and you should be able to find it like that. So I put the candy bowl from Spooky Stuff in this room, just to incorporate, like I said, just some fun bits, really. And on this level you will see the super fun room that's got all the spooky stuff items in it. So like, I use all the rugs, and I use the carpet from Spooky Stuff, and I use all the fun wallpaper and everything, because it didn't really go with the theme of the house that I was building, even though I do think I would like to build a house that was just like Halloween-y themed, because I feel like the Spooky Stuff was more of a realistic thing, you know, like, because obviously in real life we decorate our houses for Halloween and stuff, and you use a bunch of fun stuff like that. Whereas like Supernatural was seen for like haunted mansions, not necessarily how you decorate your house. So I feel like it was like a Halloween stuff for your Sims to actually have a Halloween party sort of thing, instead of living in haunted houses. But yeah, I like both styles, so I would think it'd be quite fun to build like a suburban house and then decorate it all with all the items. It'd be quite interesting. So I was just dragging the tub outside there because I could not see what colour it was probably, and it turned out it was blue, so I went with another one. And I'm just building what I did think was the master bathroom. But like I said, obviously I decided this room is not going to be the master bathroom after all, because, the bedroom, sorry, because I built one upstairs. So yeah, I'm just throwing in some candelabras and like a bath with a sort of section behind it to get changed or whatever. It's very sort of old-fashioned, kind of go for that creepy vibe again. And those shredded curtains, I do love those curtains. They even look cool sized up, which I do do in some rooms. So this room, I went for like this really basic bed and this basic wooden floor and stuff, and I thought this could either be like I don't really know, like a servant's room, or just like a really run down room or something like that. So I kept it really basic. I didn't even put any curtains. I know I put little curtains on the windows here, and then I put in just the teddy bear from Spooky Stuff, because I really liked it. And that's literally it. I think I put one painting on the wall, and then I just leave that bedroom completely plain and sort of abandoned. I thought it just looked really cool. So here I'm going on and moving on to that room that I was talking about earlier that has all the really fun spooky stuff. So as you can see, I'm going through here and just dragging out all the really stupid, fun, spooky stuff. And I put pumpkins in here and the rug, and I use all the carpets and the lights and everything, and I tried to fit about everything in that came with it that I hadn't used previously, like over the house. So this little fun ghost light and the other little pumpkin light thing, and this chair that I used the little ghost pattern on this chair this time, and I used the curtains in an orange colour, and then I think it's purple flooring maybe? Oh no, it's orange and black. I like the wallpaper might be purple. Yeah, here it is. So it's like a really super fun room, And I put a big light in here this time so you could see everything really lit up. So it doesn't go with the house at all. I thought it would just be really fun just to have like the one room that was using all the spooky stuff. Here I'm moving on and doing some more guest bedrooms. So obviously you've got like a couple of kids bedrooms. You could use that really abandoned one over there for kids. It's got a single in it. This one has a double bed in it, I think. So this would be a good guest room. And again, I really like what I did with this one. I think it looks really sort of creepy because there's some really dark woods, not a lot of light in here. And I do use the same bed a lot because it was the only one that came in like dark colours. Again, downside of not having like creator style. I was going to say creator sim, we've definitely got that. Downside of not having creator style is that obviously there's not a lot of colour choices. So, and I know a lot of people have said this and I agree, it's not even like in The Sims 2 where you could pick the colour of the bed frame and then the sheets. So I kind of had to work with what we had. So yeah, I'm sorry that that's the same bed, but you know what you're going to do. So here I am just adding more cobwebs and stuff to the bedrooms because I just thought that looked really cool. And I used those musical paintings a few times around the house because I just thought they looked kind of creepy with that black frame around them. Just worked really well. So moving on to just like a general bathroom for everyone over here. I use this sort of tile because I don't know if anybody's been watching American Horror Story Hotel. I have not watched it yet myself, but I feel like this kind of tile is always in creepy houses. Does that make any sense? Like all the films I watch, they always have like this kind of tile in the bathroom when they're in the shower and this music starts to play and all that kind of stuff. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, that would be great for a bathroom. But maybe that's just me, I don't know. So I'm having an accent table over here, just putting some candles and stuff on it, just to add a little something to the hallway because it was kind of plain apart from that. I think we do have a skeleton in the hallway. Oh, no, I moved that to the guest bedroom because that's from Get to Work. It's for the science career, I think. Not the science career, I apologise, the doctor career. I could not think of what that was called then. So I thought that was like a cool, neat idea, like someone had literally just died in the house and their skeleton was there. So here I am just making another little guest room. This is a single, it doesn't have that much stuff in it, just a little chair and just a bed. And then what do I add here? Something really random. I think I add oh, that little lion thing. I thought I added the little Grim Reaper ghost. Oh no, I think he's downstairs actually. I added the little Grim Reaper gnome downstairs on the accent table in the hallway because I saw it and I thought, oh, that's great. I just love those little things that the EA included. I don't know where it came from, if it was an update or what, but there's loads of gnomes in The Sims 4, way more than there were in The Sims 3, I think. But yeah, so again, up here in the master bedroom this time because I remember that I got it. And I'm using more brown furniture up here because I thought maybe because it was less used, because it was further up, it wouldn't have been as run down possibly. I do actually change this wallpaper off camera to be brown brown paneling, or brown wood, sorry. But I keep the colour of the wallpaper part the same, just because I thought it looked a bit too light and not spooky enough. So adding another one of those paintings in there, and I go for a golder frame this time. And then I am making the master bathroom over here, and then we're going to move on to landscaping after that because I really enjoyed furnishing this house. I didn't do it all in one go. I did all of the downstairs in one go, and then I came back and I did all of the upstairs and the landscaping, and I just had a great time furnishing it. It was just super fun. So this bathroom kind of has two sections. The first section has like the toilet in it and the sinks, and then the second section has like your shower and your tub and a little place to sit when that little, what are those things called? I can never think. Those sort of little waiting things. You guys know what I mean, that black thing right there. So yeah, then I just added some candelabras for, because I wanted this house to be sort of like not that much electricity, so all of these things could have been candle lit necessarily, or gas lit or something like that. So we're moving on to the outside here, adding in some big trees, moving the house backwards slightly just to give it more of a grand entrance, give me more room to work with adding plants and everything. So I do go to town with the landscaping. I forgot to add a maze. I only thought of this today while recording. I thought, oh, it would have been a good idea to add a maze, but I mean, there's always next time. So getting out a bunch of tombstones here from the debug catalogue. To enter the debug catalogue, you have to enter the cheat testing cheats true, and then bb.show hidden objects, and then in the search bar you can just type in debug and it brings up all the debug items, and that's like includes plates and knives and all that kind of stuff that your Sims use in the day-to-day gameplay that you can't actually purchase. So that's where I got the tombstones from. Here I'm adding sort of like this iron fence, and I raised it up on the foundation to make it look higher because we don't have a tall iron fence, and that was kind of disappointing because I think that looks really cool for spooky houses. So yeah, I did that and just put a border on it, and then I do edit this slightly because I didn't like the way it was looking. And then I add like an entrance pathway here. It's all sort of quite blocked off, so you can't see a lot of stuff. And I add like a little pond in here. I mean, it's not a pond, it's a fountain, because we don't have ponds yet, but hopefully we're getting them with Get Together or some sort of natural pool anyway. But I cover it in rocks and sort of flowers and that kind of thing, and I think it turns out pretty cool looking in the end. And I used some dark floor in it to make it look a bit more sort of muddy under the ground, as it were. So yeah, I like the way it looked. In the back we do have like a cemetery section, because I was like, what's a haunted house without a bunch of dead people out the back? So I definitely had to do that. I definitely took inspiration from the goth households in previous games. I know in The Sims 3 they had like their own little graveyard, so I kind of stole that idea, but I think it just looks really effective. So here you can see I'm starting on the landscaping, and I'm just sort of going through, and I add a bunch of weeds and stuff and that long grass, and I place that long grass everywhere to make it look sort of really untamed, and all that kind of thing. And I really like the way it turned out, to be honest. I think it looked really cool. I use a bunch of I also like, not landscaping, terrain paint to change the colour of the grass, because it was just too green. That's the thing with The Sims 4, because it's kind of cartoony looking, everything looks so damn perfect all the time. So when you're trying to do a house like this, you definitely have to sort of really look through the tools that you've got and kind of work with them to sort of make it a bit different looking. So as you can see, a bunch of overgrown hedges and stuff. I tried not to use too many flowers either, and just a bunch of sort of bushes and hedges and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sizing up a bunch of pumpkins here and just placing them all over the place to give it that sort of creepy look. Again, like I said, it doesn't really go with the haunted house kind of feel, but it is for Halloween, so I thought I'd put some pumpkins out. Or, you know, like I said, if you want to use this as a community lot, as like a haunted house, then there'd definitely be pumpkins, so that's kind of what I went for. Here I am changing the colour of the foundation that goes around the outside with the iron fence, and just added a black brick just to make it look, again, spookier. And then I'm changing the colour of the flooring in the fountain to give it a more muddy kind of look. So here I'm going around and adding a bunch of mud, like muddy grass, to underneath the flowers, and adding it to the side of the terrain and everything. And then in a minute, like I said, I do change the colour of the grass because it was just too green. I find this sort of dead looking one, but then I decided I didn't really like that, but I really liked this one. That comes with Outdoor Retreat, I do believe. That's the little square that's highlighted right now, I think. I think that's an Outdoor Retreat little symbol. And I just sort of cover the whole lot in that, because it just gave it this really sort of dead look, like it's really not being looked after in years and nobody's really cared about it. So I'm going around right now and adding a bunch of mud to the underneath of the house to make it look like it's been sitting here. It might be sinking into the terrain or something like that. Just a cool effect, I think. So I'm going to work on the back now, and I start with this tree, which I position over here, and I move the tombstones over. I use a bunch of tombstones. I think there's like 12 maybe, 10, 12 maybe, like dead people in the back. I just thought that looked really cool. And I add little sort of mud paths to them as well, where they would have been laying. And I just really loved the way it looked. Unfortunately, there wasn't different tombstones. I know in The Sims 3 you could get, I think there was up to like 3 different ones maybe, but there was just the one in The Sims 4, so I just kind of had to roll with what we had. Added a sort of a section, like a gate around that to keep it private, or a fence, sorry, and added a gate in. So I managed to use that iron gate somewhere because I wanted to use that, but you can't put gates through foundations, so I couldn't use it at the front. I leave this, again I got the pond from the debug catalogue, and I sort of just left it like stranded in the middle there, and I sort of surrounded it with a bunch of flowers and terrain paint and all that kind of stuff, and then I put some benches around it later on just to kind of make it look all sort of like all this sort of shrubbery and all that kind of stuff is all just like grown over and no one's taken care of it for years, and I think it gave it a really cool look, to be honest. So I would like to thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, then give us a like and subscribe for more content from me. Like I said, if you want to download it, then you can use the link in the description or find it via the hashtag EndlxssSims. And I hope you guys all have a really awesome Halloween, no matter what you're doing. I hope you guys dress up or go trick-or-treating or have a party. I myself am going to a party at my house that we're throwing, and I am dressing up as a zombie, if you wanted to know. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great Halloween. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you all later. Bye everyone!